Hallelujah. Jump on the beat, jump on the bike. Yeah, you know I was a crackhead. Hey. Yeah, let me chill out. That's a song, by the way. Plug this motherfucker up. Let me chill out. Oh, it's still up there. Jump on the bike. Jump on the, I believe jump on the. Hey. Hold on. All right. Now look, I'm finna get into this video, right? Check this out. Hold on. Now we're gonna get into this video. I ain't gonna make this one long, right? And I ain't trying to rant or ramble too much, but I do want to be specific and explicit and direct about what I'm talking about, right? So when we talk about lives, right? I'm not here, disclaimer, I'm not here to cater to anybody's feelings. I'm not directing anybody to do something. I'm just being real with understanding the energy. You can't put words in my mouth. You can't put words in my mouth and say what I'm trying to say. You can't try to act like I'm saying something that I'm not, because I'm not declaring or putting nobody in no situation to tell them what they need or should do or telling them to direct them to do anything. So this all is this direction of your own understanding. I'm here to edify the people, understanding people, people to understand themselves spiritually, physically, and in life circumstance situations, right, and all above. So getting into it, we're gonna get into it because I know how y'all be anyway. Y'all already don't need to be jacking what I got going on. I already know half y'all don't give a f anyway. But I'm gonna be real with you when it comes to the spiritual thing, right? Just life period though. Before we even get anywhere, just life period, right? Understand some things, right? When we talk about life being worth it, what life is worth it, what life ain't worth it. I talked about these things previously in the video, but there's levels to these things. You see what I'm saying? There's the highest of the hierarchy and the lower of the higher hierarchy. What am I talking about? What hierarchy are you talking about? What I'm talking about is this. You got the people on the bottom of the hierarchy, aka these are the people who life is everybody life is worth it, right? But let's be realistic though. People whose life I feel like is individually people that individually feel like their life is worth the most. Cause you know what I'm really trying to say, but I can't say it because I'm YouTube. Let's be real. You can read between the lines. But people whose life that they feel individually is worth it the most, and are in situations where they feel like their life is worth it the most, and living is something that they feel like is the most optimal option in their situation or scenario, is people who be in situations of like, let's say, people who got born in situations where they got born in good families, where they taken care of, right? They getting help externally or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Um, they always feel like they're taken care of in some shape or form. You see what I'm saying? People that they don't have problems finding friends, and I mean real people that's for them. Yes, generic friends can matter too, because even if they don't play out forever and they end up ending, it's still a situation that they experience and can learn from. But specifically, I guess you could say too, people who are in situations where they manifest people in their life that's for them or that resonate on the same frequency and vibration, aka people that's in the same things as they are and feel the same way, same things about things in general, right? They on the same similar frequency vibration. And then people who experience like life, sex life, relationship life, friendship life, having their own physical currency to maintain themselves in this life and world we in. People like that, these are people who they don't have to feel like they have to feel like, dang, I should off myself or do this in the third. You see what I'm saying? Um, People who are in situations where, and I don't give a damn because I know I'm not gonna pay for this video, so I don't give a fuck what y'all do with it. But people who be in situations where there's thin lines of everything. But I'm gonna just say this, and I ain't insinuating nothing because I'm gonna get into it. A lot of people should have been gone. Just like him used to say, a lot of people should have been gone. But I recognize that from my own point of view because I'm not doing this video to cater to nobody. So if you don't understand, you just stay off. This is my own little video. One person got, I don't care. Only one person see it. It is what it is. But back to the story. I mean, back to the video. Um, a lot of people even who not even spiritual, right? Who just in situations where they got certain things maybe going on, but they miserable, or they in situations where even if they not constantly aware, and they don't have enough light to move on or ascend when they do pass away, um some of them people better off what you consider is hitting the first night train, if you know what I mean. Because when you really look at it, it's kind of like at the end of the day, a lot of people that be struggling don't realize why they're struggling. And even though they may not have enough conscious awareness or light to go on to the next level, they still be in situations where they would still benefit from going into a new body in some shape or form. You see what I'm saying? Even if it's not what they want. You see what I'm saying? Um, you see what I'm saying? Hold on one second. One second. Hold on one second. One second. All right, let me finish this up though, real quick. So, but a lot of people be in situations where I'm gonna just say it because it's so hard trying not to say it, but I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't think the government gonna see this shit, and I don't really give a fuck, and I'm not getting paid for this shit anyway. So you want to flag the video, flag the video. I don't give a fuck. But because I'm gonna just say it because you only live once. What I'm basically saying is a lot of people should have been been better off gone. A lot of people been in situations where it ain't even about conscious awareness, but a lot of the people who rank at the top hierarchy, aka are number one for people who should have really been gone and been up out of here, is people who consciously aware, right? But it's a half and half, 50-50 split with the consciously aware people, because you got two different types of conscious aware people. Conscious aware just mean you got a lot of information light, your spirit is expanded enough so when you do die, you can actually ascend, aka reach a higher plane of existence, or ascend or go into a bigger body shape or form, aka you go into higher levels of dimensions, better, broader awarenesses. Now, at the end of the day, there's certain people, right, who don't don't who not necessarily, I feel like, gotta be in a situation where they feel like, oh, I should have been gone, but it's like a 50-50, because if you got a conscious awareness person who came down here, aka starseed, that's 9 times 10 they not from this space, they came down here and shit like that, but they created a sweet ass life for themselves, whether they was already here in some shape or form before, and they have enough equipment um to energies that resonate with this system to manifest a life that go more in your favor, because they understand the earth element better. You see what I'm saying? Because some people far out like me, they may be far out. You may be from a fire element or a earth, not an earth element, some other element where it don't really correlate with the earth element as much. So if you ain't expanded enough existence being in other earth worlds, or even this one before, whether it was in the third dimension or a higher plane of this world, in this realm reality, in this space, you may not equip with enough information spiritually or energetically to sustain yourself in this realm of reality easier. So you may be bigger source, you may be big enough source, things that play out in your life that you'll be taken care of in so many shape or forms, but you may not be able to get your own one too as easy as another person. But if you're an individual that came down here and you are spiritually conscious aware, right? Two people, both of y'all spiritually conscious aware, but let's say on one side you got a spiritual conscious aware person who they create a good world life for themselves. Like for instance, like they taken care of, they know how to generate their own physical current independently. So it's not just playing out as external situations that's allowing them to be okay and safe. They actually know how to generate that physical currency themselves, right? Because they got more experience with the earth element, and they may master their energies a lot better. Or you a person where you live life like they a lot of times people, they may not be perfect, but some of them came down here with their soul group, some of them came down here with their ancestors, some of them came down here with soulmates and twin flames, and they get to experience it. So even though it doesn't be perfect, they can say they actually experienced some of the earth around. You see what I'm saying? Because the whole point is experience. You may be in a situation, like I said, I talked about the money thing, energetic currency, that's no problem for them, some of them. um and or also you in a situation where, let's say, you got, it's not always about friends all the time, but let's say you have, which if you want to call it that, other individuals, people, or souls that resonate with you, that you're down here and incarnated into this earth plane with, that y'all both are consciously aware and y'all on the same, got similar emotions and feelings and thought forms, y'all both into the same shit and stuff like that. But conscious people like that, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna lie. Yes, you could say some people may say, oh yeah, but we all know the spiritual realm when it comes to the higher planes of existence. They're much more broader than this. It's much more expanded than this. It's more of it than this. It's better. It don't matter how much money you got. What they say, the greatest king don't compare to a flea on a dog's back in that realm, because it's a broader world, which is true. That is true. So you could, in a sense, look at it like, oh, it don't matter how much money, how much good this life is. You lost if you feel like you don't hurry up and lead this from reality, because you know that the other one is greater, and that is true, no buts about it. But at the same time, you got to get that person grace, that's consciously aware, and not living a bad life, or experience much more things that go in their favor in this realm. And I say that because it is, because since you already know you going to a better, broader world. You know you going with shit that this world can't compare of, no matter how much hoes you fucking get, no matter how much pussy you get, no matter how much money and gold you get, no matter how much gold and jewels you get. You know that this realm cannot compare to that realm, because that realm is much more of it, and much more broader and vast, and much more, you know what I'm saying, stronger in a sense. So you going there. So I feel like if you actually experiencing Earth, it don't feel like much of a rush to be like, damn, well, I just gotta leave though. I just gotta leave, because at the end of the day, you going there. No matter if you leave now, you take your shit, your life, and you go now, or you be like, all right, let me wait until the time comes naturally or whatever. It don't really matter, because either way, you don't even go to the same place. I could give more grace, or see a person not feel like they need to leave as much, if you in that situation. But if you was a conscious person and you conscious, right, that mean your spirit broad enough to take a higher vessel. You more constantly aware. You got more spiritual light. But say you not from this space, so you may lack earth elements a lot. So it may be harder for you to get your 1-2, or be self-sufficient. You still, spirit is big, so it's still gonna play out as you be taken care of, whether it's by family, external persons, people, places, and things. You be put in the right situation to not have to worry about certain things, certain sensibility. But at the same time, it's like you may not be able to get your own 1-2 by yourself as easy when it comes to generating your own individual currency. You see what I'm saying? uh if you like that, and if you a person, you not experiencing life like that, you don't really got a lot of females. No, not about the females, but you may not have a lot of experiences. It's about experience. You don't got a lot of experience. Well, you not fucking a lot. You don't get a lot of pussy. You don't got a lot of relationships that you in, that you can say you is, because you are here to learn, nigga. If you ain't here to learn, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, you may not come down with a twin flame and soulmate all the time. And it's about and if you spiritually conscious aware, that may seem like a detriment, and it may be to an extent, but at least if you be able to manifest a person in your life that you can have decent relationship with. So even if that don't work out and you look at it as loss, it's just still an experience you can accumulate from, that your spirit can learn from, and your space get that much more broader as a source. But if you in a situation where you consciously aware, keyword, you constantly aware, right, and you know all this shit, but you live like a dud life, a dud seed, like, I'm gonna just say it, like, you got a fucked up life. You manifested into the wrong family that don't resonate with you, that's not the same shit you are. You don't get no pussy, no females. You don't get no relationships, no feminine energy, no yin energy around you. Your sex life might be ass. You may not be effing or fucking at the moment. You don't have friends around you that's into the same shit as you in at all. Maybe you don't have friends at all. That's even on a dud low key level that you can just experience with, even though that still ain't shit. But you're not even on that frequency. um you don't got nothing going for yourself at all. You have a hard time generating your own physical currency and energy, not because you're not a source, but it's because you may not be resonating with the earth element the right way, because you may be a star seed from somewhere else. This is the earth element. So even if you're the dumbest, smallest spirit, if you from this space or you dealt with it a lot, you still know how to get your 1-2 here. It's not because you better, it's because your energies is more correlated, and you resonate more with here. So you know how to get at you know how to get your 1-2 more so. You got to know how more so. Um but if you constantly aware and all these things is off, I mean, everything fucked up. You don't experience none of this shit, none of your desires, nothing at all. And everybody ain't gonna be no great king. Don't get me wrong, everybody ain't gonna experience everything. But if you ain't experienced, be like, damn, I experienced that, I experienced this once. If you ain't experienced shit, and you ain't got no friends, no soul group family, no soulmate issues, no even just mundane regular relationships, period. You ain't fucking at all. Your ass is better off dead. I'm be real with you. I'm real with you. Your ass better off dead. I don't give a fuck. Flag the video. I don't give a fuck what you got. I don't give a fuck. You ain't putting money in my pockets, nigga. So I don't give a fuck how you feel about it. Flag this motherfucker. I'll tell you to. But I'm gonna be real with your motherfucking ass. Your ass better off motherfucking dead if it's that bad. And everybody had trials and tribulations. There's negative chapters, there's bad chapters. Don't get me wrong, with shit that you can fight through and shit like that. But if on a percentage level of your life, it's on a percentage level been fucked up, hell no. Especially you talk about being a lone void and vacant, and you don't even feel like you got the know how enough to sustain yourself in this reality from an individual perspective, becoming your own currency here energetically. Because you could be a source spiritually, but also not be a source energetically. Because energetically just means you mastered your energy enough to will it down into existence. Spiritually just means your space is big enough in general, so you got more conscious awareness. So when you die, you can go into a higher body. You may take a planet sun, you may take a higher dimensional vessel, this and the third, ascend, this and that. But you telling me that world better and better than this shit anywhere? You know what I'm saying? I've been lost my desires a lot. I ain't gonna lie to you. I say a lot of different shit about this and then the third. But I know spiritually that world is way much more broader than this one and everything that's in it. Whether you go through the higher spectrum of the higher realm or the lower spectrum of the higher realm, it's both more broader. You see what I'm saying? So you telling me you got all this conscious awareness and you actually aware and you know more so your potential life is bullshit. That's the highest. I should have put this out before because my mind was in a better place. But if I'm gonna just say this, if you consciously aware and your life fucked up real bad, like you real like whether you lonely, you in a void, you don't even experience relationships, friendships, sex life, none of that shit, your own physical money currency, even if you are lonely. But at least if you got some energetic currency, physical money you got, you can at least spend and splurge on yourself a little bit. And that's probably lost too. But if you can't even do that, fuck no. A conscious person that's like that is the highest pinnacle of a motherfucker that need to leave the earth. I'm gonna be real with you, uncle. Fuck. They the highest. Even more so than a lot of people that ain't conscious aware. But I was gonna say a lot of motherfuckers that even when you ain't conscious aware and you say you a regular human and you dumb, you don't know much or whatever like that, a lot of them be kinda ranked high too, but not as high as a spiritual person that's fucked up. Now a conscious spiritual person that don't got a fucked up life, you can look at them 50-50, but they I ain't gonna say they on the pinnacle of people that need to off themselves as much because I feel like they, like I said, it could work either way. Some of them manifest soulmates and twin flames in their life, so it's not as like they still might not give a fuck and know that world is greater and better and they don't need to stay here. But it don't mean I look as a burden as much because it's kind of like they in a situation where they kind of like not taken care of, but they in a situation where they basically them saying they get the experience, and the whole time of you being here is the experience. So if it's so hard for you to experience and shit fucked up for you, your asses, you should be on that night train immediately, ASAP. Fuck no, I don't give a fuck, I don't give a damn. You see what I'm saying? That's how that shit play out. So a conscious person that don't got none of that going on and don't got no, soulmate, twin flame, even just regular relationship period. They don't experience no relationships period. They don't got no sex life period. They don't get to experience at least a little bit of their desires, a little bit of the shit that they into, whether it's from a lower level or if it is from a connection level, like I said, friendships and other people that understand shit that they into, having your own physical money that you can be independent on. If you ain't experienced none of that shit, are you conscious because your energies don't resonate with the earth element enough, and you a star seed from too far out, your ass need to be up out of here. Hell no. I ain't hell no. Y'all listen, I don't give a fuck. I repeat, y'all that are like that are conscious aware, because that ain't most people. That ain't most people. Most people ain't conscious aware, period. They even be in the toss up to balance and see the Libra scale or who on what polar shift or not. A lot of y'all ain't even conscious, period. So don't worry about that. But if you conscious aware and you in that situation, I'm telling you right now, a lot of y'all like that in that situation, that's conscious, that's fucked up like that. Y'all at the highest pinnacle on earth for people that need to leave. Absolutely. Now you get other people that's ranked not kind of high too. Like you got regular Earth people who they may not be conscious at all, and they kind of dumb, but they kind of rank high too. Cause like I said, a lot of people should have been gone. A lot of people got fucked up lives now that they only maintain and don't leave Earth because of something that they religiously told. So they think the right thing to do is sustain the body. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, if you was to tell them, they would have been off too. A lot of spiritual, and even if they don't go to this great world, some people make the transition when they leave, and they may not know a lot, but they spirit lead them on a certain path, whatever space they in at the moment. But most of y'all do reincarnate, but at the same time, I say, you may be in a situation where 9 times 10 you gonna come into a better body or something. You might manifest a better experience for yourself at least. You know what I'm saying? Because you experienced that beforehand, so you might have a little bit more of a know-how. 9 times 10 you go through, you got a little bit more of a know-how. You might expand it, not a lot, but just a little bit out of that situation to get into a better family, to have a better start, and you have a better mind. That's a little bit more broader than what you was doing last time, because you got more experience and more accumulation. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of motherfuckers should have been gone. I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of motherfuckers better off going. I'm gonna be real with you. I was trying to keep that shit like PG, like not like really say it, but there ain't no fucking way. Hell no, I ain't getting paid for this shit, so I ain't give a fuck. A lot of the motherfuckers should have been there. A lot of motherfuckers should have been gone. A lot of motherfuckers better off gone. Period. A lot of motherfuckers that are better off dead. Period. A lot of motherfuckers. Like I said, the only people that ain't in a situation where they better off dead. I mentioned the conscious person that is living a life that's worth living. Before I already did that. I mentioned the conscious person that is worth living, aka the person who they experience in this realm. And it's not about it being perfectly in their favor, because they can go through trials and tribulations too, because they probably not from here. They got starseed too. You know, you fighting ties in the system, but at the same time, they experience enough that at least they can say they actually experiencing something. You know what I'm saying? So they don't have to do it. It's a 50-50. They don't have to. They know the world they're going to better anyway. So if they wanted to, it won't make no difference. But they don't have to take their shit like that. They don't gotta leave. It's not as urgent for them because they know they going there anyway. So whether they stay or not, and they kind of more so taken care of in a better situation with their source. So they better. They don't really have to. They don't really have to. I can't lie. They don't really have to, especially if you know you going there. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You can fly either way, but for the most part, you don't have to if you know you going there and you know you going to a broader, because your spiritual conscious awareness is that broad. That's what ascension is. You just having enough conscious awareness, having much knowledge to ascend. Period. Spiritually. So that's it. But if but for the people, the only people that ain't better off in themselves is people who in situations where they may not have the best situation, but they know that it's progress around the corner. Like they feel deep within themselves that even though they know that life is not perfect, they still got something, right? And they know that they feel like, and they know deep within that it's progress that can be made. Like they know even if they don't got everything to do, they can still develop themselves for next time to be better. Or even if it take a turn in this life for them to be better. Like they know it still ain't shit. They ain't on the highest, they ain't on the best part of it to be like, no, I just absolutely should not do it. It can wander, it can be either way with them too. But for the most part, on the percentage level, I'm gonna say they have more energy of, they don't have to feel like they have to go as much, because there's energy that can be built, there's developments that can be built, there's still shit that can be accumulated as them as a spirit. So when they do go into another vessel or body, it be that much more accumulated, and it may even take place in this form too with their life changing. See what I'm saying? Like in other words, there's like hope for them is what I'm trying to say. That's real shit though. Real shit. I'm real shit. Now you got people who in situations where again it's kind of like this other one I just named, but let's say the same situation, but they a little bit more better off. Like they a little bit more taken care of. They're not experiencing everything they want to experience, but it's like half and half. They kind of still get to experience these things, even if it's not 100% the way they want it to be. They still get to kind of experience a little bit of life. So they may have relationships, they may have friendships that's half genuine, even if they ain't perfect and they fall off before. They still got genuine ones for experiences. They still get to expand and grow. They got a somewhat of a sex life. It ain't know how they want. It ain't perfect. It ain't good per se, but it's like decent. They can say, "Oh, I can experience." See, the reason why I see these decent people are understandable with them not having to leave as much is because even though it ain't perfect and you could take it or leave it, it's still like a situation where it's, since it's still something and it's still a substance, there's still room for growth, and they're closer to the like they're already in the space of hope because they're closer to being to the point that they would want to be at. You see what I'm saying? They mean they already got a ball rolling somewhere. They already got some answers probably helping them. And even though they may be young spirited, it don't really matter. It's still like they're already in a better situation. So even if they don't fully get in this lifetime, there's so much they can accumulate that they can come back and be like, boom, and really be closer into the space they want to be in. Them motherfuckers get a lot of grace if you ask me. In my mind and in general. Um, from my point of perspective, you feel me? Now, another one that we all know is people that get born in a great family, people that get born in perfect family. I mean, nobody's perfect, but people born in, let's say, really good families, people that experience a lot of relationships that either go in their favor or that they just get the experience, period. People that be in a situation where they get a lot of pussy or they fucking a lot, they got a sex life, they experience, because all this experiencing, all these chakras experiencing, they're all important. They all awareness that need to be expanded, feel spirit to grow, etc., etc., etc. Um, People who they can generate their own currency, or they to be well off. They don't have to worry as much about certain shit. Now we all work hard. We all got trial and tribulation. Nobody perfect. We ain't no fucking kings. But at the same time, it's like on a percentage laws, a percentage scale. You see what I'm saying? Are you mainly trial and tribulation, or are you mainly more so prosperous, or are you at least in between, or are you over the line a little bit? Are you below the line a little bit? All these things are understandable. But if most of your life you experience trial and tribulation, period. I don't give a fuck if you conscious or not. You better off dead. And if you conscious, it's even worse. It's even worse because if you consciously aware, you know you ain't from here. You know you a star seed. You know where you going. You know you going to a broader reality. You know you going back to where the fuck you from. So you a bitch and you a dumbass. Period. If you, I don't give a fuck who you are. If you consciously aware, and I mean, if you actually constantly aware, like you actually understand spiritual shit, spirituality, why people in the situation they in, knowing your own self. For the fact for you even to know that, like, ain't no grace. For you even to know, like, damn, I'm in this situation because of this. Don't nobody else mind be traveling that fucking far. That's a small handful of motherfuckers. And you got people that's conscious on different levels. But you got people that's conscious enough that if they die, they still could go into a higher level of life and not get lost into this realm as much. But still not even be as high as you because they may not even know as much as you, but they got enough. And they in a lower form of consciousness, but they got just enough to take higher bodies. And you got people a little bit higher than that. But if you like real consciousness and you up there a little bit with it and you more so aware of your whole parameter that's in this realm, because the realm only goes so far. And you to the point where you aware of shit past this realm of reality. So you not only aware of the shit that's in this reality, just that's in this reality spiritually and metaphysics of this plan and this and that, to the point where you got enough light and consciousness to kind of rise a little bit above the physical realm of Earth, but you may be like in a lighter, denser Earth when you die. So you still be in the astral realm, but you be like in a higher version of it a little bit. So you can kind of float, get more of a fresh breath of fresh air, and breathe a little bit. You don't gotta be so condensed because you got a little bit more light than the average spirit. So you don't have to be a ghost or ghoul and be trapped down here, be about to coordinate right back into a vessel. But you big enough to still kind of be in this space, but in a lighter version of it, so it's not as heavy. You see what I'm saying? So that's even better for you too if you're in that situation. But my God, if you aware of everything in here like that and some, aka and past this space and past the sun, below the sun, you aware of the deeper realms of realities of the fourth and sixth dimension, aka the astral realm. You aware of the higher imagination, the higher awareness of the fourth of the astral realm. You aware of other realms of realities. You aware of why people do the shit they do now. You aware of what worlds is like. If you aware of all this shit and you down here in the fucked up life, your ass just retarded. And you need to start realizing, I'm gonna fuck flag the video. I'm gonna fuck. Hope you watch the whole shit, government and all. If you, cause I understand. If you in that situation, your ass just retarded. Now I understand. I give grace to everybody, every spirit, because I understand. Even in that situation, you may be in a situation where you maybe feel like you're trying to find something, right? So you are trying to rectify your energies. You are trying to rectify your life. You are trying to expand and get better. But bitch, you already expanded. Once you got the knowledge of this shit, it don't matter if you made it or not. So you could be in a situation. I get it though. It's like, damn, but I want to make it tangible. I want to actually experience it. That's real. Don't get me wrong. You're not wrong for that. I understand you. But at the same time, it's like, bitch, you already equipped it enough information that you need it from that. And if you're still in a situation to be like, damn, I ain't experienced it yet. I'm still trying to, bitch, it may not be for you, dumbass. Just take the wheel, take the night train. It ain't fucking for you. If you still in this bitch in 9, 10 fucking years, 15 years, your whole life you've been a dud, and you become constantly aware of some shit, bitch, that's really like your spirit saying I'm ready to. It's really like your spirit saying I'm ready to go. See, I don't be that blunt with niggas and shit because I know a lot of y'all just pussy. But truthfully told, and I ain't even trying to be disrespectful or nothing like that. But truthfully be told, that really just be y'all spirits just saying it's ready to go. Like y'all sitting here trying to make something out of nothing, really. And that's why I guarantee most of y'all that's conscious like that in that situation, y'all always be trying to like experience shit on Earth, but for some reason it never manifests. That's really your spirit saying it's tired of this shit, but it's subconscious because your spirit is not different from you. You are your higher self. It's not something outside of you, but these are your higher senses, your more subtle senses. So it play out. You may consciously not realize, but it's playing out like that. You see what I'm saying? And if you got the eye to see it, you see it. But either way, that's how it's playing out. A lot of motherfuckers that ain't even conscious down here better off dead and shit like that. And they spirit being that train of thought. That's why I end up them getting shot up or it play out as them being in certain situations. And y'all think it's horrible. Really, a lot of people's spirits tired now and they ain't even shit. They ain't even nowhere. They ain't even going nowhere. They getting back here. A lot of these motherfucking people and these niggas that like they not even going nowhere. They just coming back down here. Maybe with a little bit more influence. Maybe with a little bit more power next time. Maybe with a little bit, depending on how hard they expand it in the contraction in this space. In this space. That's how much more better they be. Some niggas may contract it a lot. They may be finna be a fucking superstar. But that's certain people though. You know what I'm saying? Some people might have expanded and contracted so much or to an extent, but not as much. So they may come into just a better life for themselves. They may be better or the more popular person or manifest a better life for themselves. You see what I'm saying? They may be popular in the area that's based on location that's for them, perfectly for them. In the right family home. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to tell y'all, I ain't trying to tell y'all to go out here and do a whole bunch of shit into it. I'm just saying, I'm keeping it real with y'all. Nigga, I'm keeping it real with y'all. This is not what y'all motherfucking think. I'm gonna tell you right now. A lot of y'all motherfucker life, a lot of motherfucking people, especially in this time and age, they say this not a bad time to live. And I ain't gonna say you wrong, but it depend on what polar spectrum you on too, nigga. It depend on what polar spectrum you on too. You can't be out here like no fucking dud and shit and talk about some, yo, this is a great time. No, bitch, you ain't experienced shit. You ain't out here fucking, oh yeah, everybody got asses now. Yeah, we in a new time now. The world, the GMO, this, da 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 da. You can experience it, you can do this now, you can do that. Yeah, that's all real shit. But if there's no formulation or structure within your shit, and you not put in a situation to have the benefits to receive the benefits from certain shit and experience the shit, it's bullshit. I ain't like I said, I ain't saying everybody gotta be the best nigga in the world and be that nigga, but you got to have some type of formulation in your life. If life ain't working for you, life ain't life for you, bitch. That's a sign. The fuck. So I ain't gonna be long, but I'm just saying, I'm gonna end it out with that. It's like it's a sign. The fuck. Like I said, a lot of people, even if you ain't conscious, better off going, cause at least you can, like I said, get born into a better family next time. And get born into a better family that resonate more with you. You may not have as much, if you had mental issues or mental health issues, you may not be born with as much mental health issues because that's an accumulation. Depending on how hard you vibrate in that space. If you ain't do shit about your situation, you're still gonna come into like a slightly different better life, but it may be like not that much of a difference. But you had to be a dud if that was the case. I don't care what the fuck you in. Unless you wasn't trying to learn shit. I mean, you ain't want to learn shit. And it's hard not to accumulate in this space we in now. But I mean, I'm talking about you duck from all knowledge. You ain't want to learn shit. You ain't even want to learn about yourself. Not even on the lowest level, just with your health or something like that. Then yeah, you might come out as a complete dub. But 9 times 10, even within that, there's gonna be a small increment that you may expand from that from. But if you really didn't do nothing, that to that extreme and you was that deadish, like aka you didn't expand in no shape or form, physically, emotionally, energetically, internally, conscious awareness, knowledge, nothing, then okay, it might play out as like barely expanding or you like reincarnated into a hell, aka not literal hell, like that's a place, but more so like you getting born into a family again that kind of family you was in that you didn't like being in. So it play out as more of a hellistic, aka because hell is like a bad routine and pattern, some shit you trapped in, aka anything that you feel encapsulated in. That's why hell, jail, cell all have the same energetic signature. So they all have the same reading. No matter how it's spelled, they have the same energetic signature. See what I'm saying? Um, it's like you failed. You feel me? But it's not like a spiritual thing, like it's a right and wrong to these things. These are just paths y'all are on and that y'all choose because y'all create the path too. So it ain't like it's something out there directing y'all. But this is deep knowledge right here. So I don't give a fuck what y'all think. Give a damn. I don't give a damn, nigga. I don't give a damn. I ain't buttering this shit up for y'all for y'all niggas. I'm sorry. Let me stop over exaggerating with my language. Don't get me wrong, cause I don't mean no respect, but I am being real. So I'm not gonna hold this bitch back either. But anyway, that's how that play out. You feel me? Um, yeah. And I ain't trying to say like everybody just need to be just dropping down like flies, but you gotta understand your life. But you gotta be real with yourself. And you got what you gotta do to test it is you take all religious indoctrination, all morals of what you've been taught, throw that out the window, right? Throw that out the window. I'm not saying act on anything, I'm saying throw that out the window, right? Throw all your feelings, emotions about what you think is right and wrong, throw that out the window. That's still a part of that type of shit. Throw that out the window. And just be real with yourself on the percentage level. How do you feel about your own life? Not what somebody else throw on you to make you think is right and wrong. That's different types of feelings. I'm talking about your own shit, your own introspection, not retrospection, introspection. Understanding like, damn, on a percentage of how happy am I? Do I really fuck with this shit, or am I just doing this because I think this is the right way? Am I giving myself false hope because of some break me, tear me down, build me back up type concept that somebody has given me, or is this real, or is this realistic? You know what I'm saying? Because some people be in situations where it won't hurt them to really stay alive and for a long period of time, and because they can accumulate and build enough, like I said before, information, awareness, and just in this body. They may not be superly consciously aware, like spiritually and nothing like that, but they may have enough understanding to come into a better body in this vessel. Because we create all these chakra wheels and shit like that. That's why the better a person's chakra wheels in the body they come into off the rip is how better they create an organ. So a person got organ failure or retardations or anything like that, you better understand that just means your chakra wheel in this space is off. But like I be saying, that's just this space. Y'all be like seven chakras, everything. No, the fuck it ain't. The seven chakras come from this space. We live in a draconic being. We in a draconic space. Gaia is a snake. The earth we on, the constellation we in, everything is snake. This is a dragon serpent world that we in. From the highest level, whether you in a higher version of this realm or the lower version of this realm. That's why everything, every representation that we got is like really snake like. Y'all just don't be knowing it. When you look at a snake, what is a snake doing? It's walking on its belly and shit like that. And what is the bottom of the snake's belly look like? It's a lot of shades lighter than the top of it. You know what I'm saying? How are we humans? We got palms, we got bottom of the feet. That's a similar thing. The way a lion is, the real energy signature of a lion in the spirit realm don't look like no shit down here. This like that's a snake shit. It's damn near on his belly. It's bent over. It's elongated. It's got undercarriage underneath his. Like these are all snake traits. That's why all the animals got that same feature. A lizard, like it's almost like it's laying down. It's like a certain way. It's on all fours. Its belly exposed. A hippo belly underneath exposed. Us humans, we may not be on our hands no more like we used to when we was Homo sapiens. So much they say. That was a long time ago, and some of that shit bullshit too. But dogs underneath their belly, they got that lighter shin padding, that pinkish or that lighter padding. Bears, everything the same kind of shit really. But I'm not like we got long arms, we got fingers, we got to like all this is snake like shit and shit like that. Which Dolo brought that down too. So shout out him his channel. But he kind of flunked out now, so I ain't gonna act like I'm gonna just send you to his shit no more. His shit flunked out more so now. But that's how that plays out. You see what I'm saying? Um, but like I said, I got off topic. The seven chakras, that's cool and all, and that is something you can build and maybe want to build for this life, so that you can accumulate it wherever you go. Is a source and accumulation of energy, and making your spirit bigger with knowledge and information, because that's how you expand through conscious awareness and shit like that, and experience. But that's just this realm. So they be getting y'all lost. Oh, seven chakras. That's just this realm. That's why a lot of people that be mentally challenged coming in will be called retarded. But a lot of people that be mentally challenged, um, a lot of them is from other spaces. A lot of them from other spaces. Now you may have some of them that may be from this space, but most of them, I'm beyond. Most of them probably not from this space. Or if they is from this space, they was like a really fucked up, like not no karma shit. That's not in hell. Now that shit don't exist. But I'm saying they was a person or a spirit or an animal or a being or whatever travel they was on previously that like barely made it to the third dimension almost. So they almost like forced themselves in the fourth. It's like most of them niggas like not from here though. Like a lot of mentally challenged people, either not from this space or they chakras was so out of whack when before they came into the vessel. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how you've been down. Before you came into the vessel for everything to create your organs in your body, it was so out of whack and unaligned with this realm reality in some shape or form. There was either unlined chakras or their energy didn't resonate with this world in some shape or form. But that's how I be looking at it too. Like it's I feel like it's more of a percentage level of them not being from here, because accumulate with this world, that means you got other thought forms and other emotions and feelings and other senses and other imaginations and other conscious awareness that don't really resonate with this world. So that's why you don't correlate with the earth element enough, and you need to be taken care of. So that's why in so many ways I could see it how being a spirit from here too. Like you got so wrapped in or whatever. But for the most part, I have a hard time seeing that too though. Because I don't give a fuck if you come from being a lizard or an animal. You you resonate with this realm in some shape or form naturally. So when your spirit become big enough to even come into a vessel as a human, period, even if you don't create the perfect vessel with perfect straight teeth and perfect health and perfect body alignment, perfect spinal alignment, perfect 100% working organs, you eventually get to that place if you reincarnate and you stay here long enough. But you you're not to that point, you still will build a certain amount of understanding and awareness to build a half sufficient body, because you naturally, but you may be a dumbass. You may not know shit. You may be a dummy, but it wouldn't be as extreme as you becoming retarded. Like for you to be mentally challenged, nah, that is kind of like you kind of being from a space. And I ain't saying you got to be from far out Armageddon Matron constellation. I ain't saying that, but you that do kind of means to some extent. It means two things. It means you was from either real far away, and or because it's probably both, your spirit not big enough to create a half decent organ here enough for you to still be kind of like, still like, if it's all fucked up like that, something wrong. That mean your chakras all fucked up. So that mean you not only probably not from here, your spirit also not big enough and got enough information from to create a half decent body here. You see what I'm saying? And that could be anything, because we create all these things. Even like with teeth, if you got a lot of teeth issues, that area, that's third house. So you know that rule communication. thinking, analyzing. What star, what planet ruled that? Mercury. Mercury deal with thinking and analyzing. So if you got like really fucked up teeth, I'm talking about from birth. If they just real fucked up, 9 times 10, when you came in this body, your Mercury chakra, aka the way you think and analyze, was fucked up. And the way you think and analyze gotta go in Mercury favor, aka the way Mercury think and analyze is analytical. Are you analytical? Do you make sense out of shit? And it don't mean that you gotta be this great, logical, puzzle mind solver. Although a lot of times if you naturally like that, it may play out with your teeth being perfect, but it don't gotta be in that specific energy all the time. But how it's not what you do, it's how you do it. You it's not the shit that you think about or how you do it or what it is, it's how you do it. You see what I'm saying? So you may think about anime all day. You may think about cars and football all day. But are you like, do you think and analyze in a way that's structured and formulated the way Mercury likes to think? Are you a person who, do you just think about shit all day, like do you just think all over the fucking place like a Pisces? Do you just think here, think that, and one second you think about cars, the next second you think about fucking football, and then we talking about pizza and who which I want to eat. You bringing up the newspaper. We talking about that. Then we start adding on newspaper with you and shit. Then you start changing back to cheese. But like, are you all the way out of there? It's like unstable. Are you unstable thinker? You just think about all kind of shit. You unflumming. You all over the place. AKA your teeth gon' manifest like that. Cause that's the energy signature. Cause that's the energy your teeth came out of. It came out of that chakra. So however your chakra was vibrating is shit that get produced from that shit. So if you got fucked up teeth, that third house rule Mercury. So that means in some shape or form, if you naturally got fucked up teeth. Now if you have other teeth but you got your teeth fixed, that's different. You see what I'm saying? You still had a weird kind of mind that for that to even happen. But I'm talking about, you know just naturally born. If you got naturally fucked up teeth and you was born like that, like and your shit naturally when they started coming in, they came in all unaligned. 9 times 10, you was like a fucked up thinker. I'm not saying that it's bad or it took a toll on you, but in some shape or form you didn't. In some shape or form you didn't think analytically. You probably was all over the place, or you had what we would consider a weird way of thinking. But the reason why I say don't get lost into these 7 chakras is because while you here, build these things there because you in this space. But the only reason why you even gotta worry about these things, I'm saying, is because you in this space. If you was in another realm of reality, another solar system, another galaxy, they have other energy signatures that they deal with. It's not these 7 chakras. Like I always brought in a video before, way back, my older video. We feel all these emotions and feelings because these are the 7 planets around that we around closest. And that gets into the 7 chakras. That's why we even had a body we do. All these pieces come from these spaces. So if you in a whole another solar system, way far out, you won't even have these same fucking 7 chakras or these same main 7 emotions and feelings. That's why I be telling y'all all that shit buffle, all that shit cake, all that shit cap. Don't let them people lie to you. They be like, oh, if you die in this, then no the fuck you ain't. Especially if you, that's why I be saying, especially if you constantly aware though. Because if you constantly aware, you know this type of shit. So it's like, if you just going through some fucked up ass life, I understand being tough, and if there's no right or wrong. So if that's what you want to experience, that's what you want to experience. But I'll be damned if you, but you know, if you, y'all, I be saying it ain't that hard though, because you know what's real, you know what's ain't. You know, because y'all gonna be like, oh, well, what about a person constantly weird? But they just want to stay because they it's fucked up. It's hard, but they want to build strength. That's real, yo. But y'all don't be real with yourself. Y'all don't be real with yourself. Y'all know the difference between a motherfucker that's in a situation where they know it's fucked up and they really trying to build strength and it's fucked up. You may hear them playing a little bit, but do you know they be really trying to build towards it? And a lot of times they may not even play out as them complaining as much. But you know the difference when you a motherfucker. You can't try to pull that card on me, but you a motherfucker who you out here, you know you super constantly aware, but yet you probably complain every damn day. Oh, I hate my life. Oh, I wish I did. I can't wait till I this and that and the third. Bitch, you wouldn't be saying that type of shit if your ass wasn't supposed to fucking go. Because your spirit wouldn't even be in that space to be producing those type of thought forms and feelings. So what the fuck is you saying you in? That's cap. Bullshit. I catch it every way. You can't outdo that shit. You can't outdo my shit because I'm more aware of everybody else shit than they aware of themselves. So I could tell a nigga straight up, like, oh, okay, you could say all you want, oh, it's building strength, you building strength. I ain't saying you ain't building strength. I ain't saying you ain't accumulated. But for you to be in a situation where more percentage level, especially if you're complaining about it, and you even got thoughts and feelings like, damn, I want to off myself, or I don't want to be here no more. If you already in that situation, come on, now that's the spirit letting you know what it want to do. Because you can let the white people, white folk, government, whatever they is, make you feel like it's bad and flag your video all they want. But your spirit know you going to a better place. Your spirit know you going somewhere either in peace or a better place or a more expanded version of this, or it's 1,000 places you can fucking go. This shit is endless. You if you real constantly aware like that, 9 times 10 you going to another world because you probably a star seed anyway, not from here. So it's extra worse for you. Fuck no, I ain't even no grace. I used to give grace like that. I used to be like nah, but then no, fuck no. That all that shit buffle, all that shit cap. Cause for you to even be that consciously aware, period, you already go into a broader realm of reality. You already go into a broader realm of reality. 9 times 10 a better place, a different existence. And then you trying to tell me you a star seed, aka so you not just consciously aware more so than other people. You also in a situation where you know you're not from this space. So that's why you don't resonate with this space as much. So you also from somewhere else. So you know you can go back home, you know you can go back to your star system where your spirit like to be, where your ancestors is at, where your spiritual predecessors at, where your spiritual family at, where your soulmates and what you call twin planes and y'all spirit family at and all the spirits that fuck with you and your spirit friends at. You telling me so you telling me, bitch, so you telling me, god damn it, you telling me you know all this shit? Hmm. Now I ain't want to hold a gun at nobody. I ain't wanting to put no fire at nobody. I ain't no one to hold nobody up over a burning thing of fire. I ain't no one to toast nobody over marshmallow. But I will tell you this: if you telling me you know all that shit, right? God damn it, you know all that shit, and you know you going to not only just a broader world. Period. That was just a Gucci's conscience. Period. You was already finna go to a better, broader realm of reality with more accumulation, and shit like that, and less hassle of this world. You already was going to a better reality just from being conscious aware. Even if you are from this space, are you not from too far from this space? So you may resonate with this space in different ways, but you more constantly aware of it, so you know how to rise that shit. So you already was going to somewhere better. Period. But you mean to fucking tell me you a fucking star seed and you from a whole other star system? So bitch, you know you can go back to where the fuck you from around and get, I don't want to say love, but the energy signature what we be pointing to, although it really don't play out like that in those other realities. But you know what I'm trying to say, that energy of acceptance or that energy of being like you around something that fuck with you for you. You know you can go back to this place. You probably got all kind of spiritual fucking family and shit like that. You detach yourself and came here because you either was lost as a spirit, traveled far. There's no such thing as traveling too far out, but you traveled far out and out of a desire or something like that, but you probably left yours. That's why homeboy made a video. He say, shout out to D-Lo again. He made a video and he say, uh, it's three situations. Are you a person you came down here with your spirit family, with your ancestors and spiritual predecessors, aka they either play out as coming in bodies or they can be less dense and is a spirit too. But these be people who be in situations where they feel like they're always taken care of. They don't even have these thoughts of thinking like, damn, I should do this to myself because they know no matter what they're taken care of, and shit is already playing out for them to take care of themselves and for them to be taken care of and for them to take out their other duties of business and obligations in the world already. They already doing shit to help other people that's in the same shit as themselves, and they don't ever feel like they alone ever. It physically don't play out like that 9 times 10, and it spiritually don't play out like that. But if it don't play out physically at all, 9 times 10, you didn't come down with your ancestors. It's got to play out physically, even if it's not a whole bunch of people you around. It could be an item, tool. It could be a person, place, or thing. It don't even have to be a person. It could just be a place and thing. It could be a place that you go to that's a physical place, or a group of tools, or a spiritual system, a physical something that's in this reality. That every time you get into that, it reminds you more of yourself and teach you on yourself, and it leads you to prosperity. Even though it didn't physically was a person, it still led you to that. That's also still like spiritual ancestry too. Now you can say, yeah, a little bit, oh yeah, I was thin too, it was some within energy too, but that's like something external was already here. So that is kind of like an energy lingerance of something that you already fuck with a little bit. So that's closer to that. I could accept that too as that. And then he said another one is you may not have came down here with your spiritual predecessors or ancestors. You may not be getting spiritual help, but you always feel like you can do it regardless, even if no shape or form play out in front of you to be like, damn, I could do this. You internally always feel that way, right? So you feel like you either got the power or you always feel like you can take care of your shit yourself. You don't need others and shit like that. And then sometimes you can run into other people that resonate with you, or sometimes they don't. But sometimes they may never do, but you feel like you can, you know what I'm saying? But at that point, I'm be honest with you, I still think your ass better off dead. I ain't gonna sugarcoat that. I still think you better off dead. But I understand you got enough energy and source now that you can kind of put yourself in certain situations where you still ain't shit, still ain't worth living, but it's like you can accumulate a lot more energy. So when you do die, you be even that much more large as a vessel. I can't hate on you like that though either. I can't hate on you like that. That's whatever it is. I can give you that one. And then the last one is a person who they call them a dud seed. You a person, you came down here, you don't have no ancestors, you don't have no spiritual predecessors, and you don't and you feel like you're in a situation where you can't really do it by yourself. Not because you can't or you don't have the source, but because you may not have as much the elemental makeup of this brown. You could be prestigious as hell in some other solar system. You could have been the shit. You could have been a Donald Trump in some other realm of reality. You could have been some goddamn king in some other realm of reality. Or whatever the hell that takes shape or form. Cause all that shit I just named is really just this shit. But you see what I'm saying? Energetically, you could have been whatever the hell you was, whatever's lit out there in those realm of realities. But if we come to this bitch, you ass. You know what I'm saying? And it may not be because you don't got your own stores. It may just be because you either haven't mastered your physical energy, because it has to take place physically down here for you to be something. You gotta have some mastery or understanding of something physically down here. One, even if you don't got that much accumulation from this world or from the earth element period to just be substantial to know how to do everything and get your 1 2 down here. At least if you can master your own energy, it'll play it like that. It may seem chaotic to somebody else, like how the fuck is they making money? How is they doing this, Y, Z? But they got enough energy to sustain it and manifest that energy for themselves. But that has nothing to do with your spirit because the energy is shit you pull down from the spirit. That's an energy on its own. That has nothing to do with the spirit. That's like all the shit we create. We create blood. We create spirit, sperm cells. We create all this shit. What's creating that? But that's another video. I ain't even get into all that. You see what I'm saying? I ain't even get into all that. But you see what I'm saying? That's two different things. So, um, I forgot my train of thought. But that's how that play out. So you got to have something. But it ain't that you ain't not shit. You might be spiritually strong and broad and all that shit, but you just may not have enough of the earth energy accumulation enough. You may not have enough of the earth knowledge. You may not have been down here long enough or been in the other vessels that resonate with the earth element enough, even if it wasn't in this space. You know what I'm saying? So you have more trouble and shit like that. That's how that could play out too. But if you in that one, you know you better off dead and shit, cause they call that left for dead. But that's all I was gonna say. It's thousands of realms of realities out there. That's what make it less graceful because I feel like it's thousands of memory realities out here. That shit going on that um have all these other energies and shit like that. Whatever you think you missing, you really ain't missing shit. You think you missing shit because it's all you aware of right now. That's why y'all like that because you think you missing shit because it's all you know. So that, but say it's sex and you lost in your desires. You may like, man, I don't want to leave this earth. I want to come back here. I ain't get a chance to fuck you. I ain't get a chance to be the nigga I wanted to be down here. I didn't get a chance to experience all my wildest desires. You probably didn't. But don't get lost into this because this ain't the only space. And even when you talk about, no offense, but even when you talk about earth element too, Earth, when you talk about Earth sexual energies, Earth Pluto energies ain't shit. You think it's the shit because you down here. Listen, a lot of y'all ain't shit. But you only think that this the shit because your ass down here. But if you was to see some other damn spaces and star systems and worlds and planetary systems, you would realize real fucking quick. You'd be like, the hell with Earth. You'll start realizing, damn, I'm limited in Earth. You'd be like, damn, I'm limited. You can't do shit. I thought I was experiencing orgasm. I'm not even experiencing the full brunt of it. I'm held back. Motherfuckers got refractory periods. The women, they can experience more orgasm because they closer to a certain type of space spiritually, but they got limitations too, and they got to deal with periods and pain, and they got to deal with when they do have sex. It takes longer for them to get there, and it's complicated with this and that, and it take this, it takes still take this, and it's like even it's just too much bullshit here. That's why when you look at a soul system, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get up out of here, and then I'm gonna wrap it up, right? Because I'm almost an hour in. But that's why when you look at star systems or planetary systems, the size of the planet that's revolve around the star is the size of the overall energetic influence of whatever house that area is in. For instance, you know how I say the 12 houses, right? That's the 12 planets, all the way from Pluto all the way to that's all the way to Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, all the way to Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, the sun, the moon, all those things too. All these these are energy synergies. These things create energies. That's why I said a fifth dimensional being is like a planet, aka, and a planet creates certain light spectrums. And fifth dimensional being is also emotion and feeling. This is why we call it 78 deadly sins, because it's really more other planets and more energy synergies that we're aware of. But these are the main ones closest to us. They really talk about the seven main planets close to us. And greed, all these things, and gluttony, and all this shit is shit that deal with these, and lust, all this. Talk about Mars and all that shit like that. But that's getting deeper into it. But understanding that. So these are just these energetic signatures. But the bigger the orb, the more influence it has in our reality. So even like a real big planet, let's say, and how close it is to us too. But overall, Jupiter, we know Jupiter is huge. So we know knowledge and learning is one of the most biggest energy signatures here in some shape or form. You have to learn something before you do it. I don't give a fuck who you are. You don't just wake up one day and start building the fucking building. I don't give a fuck how great of a carpenter you become in 20 years. You may be the best, world's most prestigious carpenter in the world ever. But bitch, you still had to learn how to do that shit. Even if you already knew in a past lifetime, you be better at it. That's an accumulation. You be better at it. You have more of that ability. But somebody still got to reawaken you and tell you that information, or you got to see it to learn it, or hear it, or something to remind you, oh, I remember how to do this. You may even learn it faster than somebody else. I ain't saying that. You might learn it faster than somebody else still. But you still gotta rehear it again. You gotta become aware of it again. You see what I'm saying? That's how that play out. But all these the bigger the influence is, the bigger the planet, lets you know lets you know how advanced we are in that area of life. So for instance, right, when you look at Mercury, right? Mercury's small as hell. What do we know Mercury deal with? In this space, Mercury in this space is small as hell. We know Mercury deal with what? Thinking and analyzing, right? Thinking. So the way we think, analyze, and make sense out of shit in its own reality is actually ass. You think that shit hard, and the only reason why it's so important, it's so influenced to us, and the reason why we do it so much, and whatever, however much importance we give to it, is because Mercury is one of the ones that's kind of closest to us. So the closest to something and how big it is, the effects. But you may be farther out, but if you big enough, you'll be big, just as influenced to us. But let me get back on track. And what we give importance to, but you always gonna be influenced by these things. So Mercury is not only close, it's small as hell. So our way of thinking, third house, Mercury with third house, our way of thinking is small as hell, and it's like primitive, it's premature. So we not it's not like we on fucking like Aldebaran or somewhere in Orion where they may have a bigger, they got birthed out of that space as a whole. So they Mercury center, what we would call Mercury to them, whatever the fucking space they in their star system, they probably got a big ass Mercury chakra. They probably got like actual control, because we don't be having control of our mind like we think. We receive too much. We think we thinking, but we not really thinking and formulating the way we are. It's like a muscle here. You gotta train it. But in those realities, it's probably normal. You probably got like an off switch. If you want to think about something, you literally can think about it. You literally can turn it off. You like, wait, you can do that here now. But everybody can do that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like the norm. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going too deep into some shit. But I'm just saying, just let me get back to the chase and wrap this up. What I'm saying is, we is small planet in our solar system, right? So since we know that rule, thinking and analyzing, that's how we think and feel. I mean, I'm sorry, that's how we think and analyze. That's how we think. That's the way we think and make sense out of shit and logically analyze situations mentally. So we know since Mercury is small in our solar system, that means, well, no matter how importance we give to thinking, how lit, how smart we think we are, our weight of thinking universally, period, is more small and premature. So we humans think we thinking like late. We think we lit. We think we smart and shit. But the way we think is like really some small dumbass shit. That's like let's use another. Whereas learning, learning may be a little bit better. It's farther from us though, so they don't give as much importance to it. But the way we learn is a little bit, maybe a little bit better. Still ain't shit, but it's still a little bit better. It's bigger. Let's see what else. Uh, all the stars and planets that's farther from us, they be influencing us heavy, but they don't be as heavy because the world we in only give main importance to the set. That's why they only tell you about your seven chakras. They don't tell you about the 12. They don't tell you about the one through the feet. Like they don't give it like Pisces is the feet, right? Neptune. That's a big one. That's a real big one. Powerful. But they don't give it much importance to it because it's farther out. You see what I'm saying? So it don't rule as much, but yet it's the more one of the more powerful ones. That's what I'm meaning to say. The bigger it is, the more powerful it is. Like Jupiter is real big. We know the energy of knowledge and gaining constantly awareness and information is extremely powerful here, but it's farther out. So people give importance to it, but they don't give as much importance to it as other things. They'll give more importance to your Saturn energies. That's one of the seven ones closest to us. Now that's a big one too. Saturn energy is a big one too. Being able to initiate, build, structure, and routine, and all that shit too. Status, all that shit. That it is a big one too. You can gain a lot of energy from that too. That one's not as premature as the Mercury one. That's closest to us. You see what I'm saying? So that means our ability to have because that's 10th house. Our ability to have status, be seen for something, or be in a situation where we have something our stability, our ability to work hard. That means we good, and that's exactly what we in. Hell, because you got a lot of motherfuckers who work real hard. That's one thing us as human beings never had a problem with. We never had a problem working hard. Yeah, you can call out some bums. You can call out some jackass that's on his mama couch. You can call out individuals. But as a whole, we know to work hard, or else you wouldn't have all this shit built up the day it is. So see, our Saturn energy is well developed. You know that. If anything, you trying to probably get in a situation. to become more solidified with your Saturn energies, aka your ability to have discipline. That's what that is, discipline. And motherfuckers do that spiritually and physically down here. So our Saturn energies, we don't have no problem with that. You see what I'm saying? We don't have no problem with that. But then when you look at it, if we look at another one, let's say Scorpio or Pluto, that one's further out too. But that's our sexual energy. That's our eighth house. So we know our eighth house. That's like one of the smallest ones. That's barely a planet. That used to be considered the planet, but that's like barely a planet nowadays. That's like half a planet. It's not even really like a planet no more. So that means our sexual energies, which did this one really makes sense. I could make a comedy out of this shit. This one, because everybody, I don't give a fuck if you believe it or not. You know it's true. You don't give a fuck if you say I want to hear you or not. You know it's true that when it comes to our sexual energies, Pluto is one of the smallest planets. Or it's not even a planet. It's just a little fucking orb, asteroid shit. But that's our eighth house. That's our sexuality. That rules eighth house. That's that area of our life. So we know when it comes to sexuality here on Earth, that means our sexuality is very primitive. So whatever the fuck we think we feeling is very fucking primitive. Whatever you think you got going on down here sexually is very primitive. I don't give a fuck if you fucking you catch the best nut of your life or you fucking real good. That our awareness down there, period, is primitive. This is why you get so much people who hate themselves, who y'all trying to kill people for them being gay. Y'all trying to overly y'all judge people for their sexualities that much. Um, y'all judge people more for their sexualities than the way they fucking think. And both of them shit's primitive in this memory reality. But let's not jump the gun. Y'all don't know how to deal with y'all sexuality that much. Sexuality don't be taught like that. The only thing they teach you in sex ed is about the organ itself. They not teaching you how to fucking use the organ or how to transmute sexual energy. And then when you bring up shit like sexual energy or transmuting it, motherfuckers look at you crazy. Yeah, this real ain't shit. So I hope y'all don't really think this is the shit. I know y'all thinking y'all be doing something, but that's why a lot of y'all want to probably kill yourselves anyway. Y'all already want to do that. So it ain't like I'm saying something that's so great. Y'all always, y'all a bunch of dick suckers. And when I get up there, y'all all gonna be sucking my dick. I'm gonna really be like the fucking Christ. I'm gonna really be like Raw. I'm gonna be harder though. I'm gonna really be y'all really gonna be doing carrying out my shit the way I want. Man, but that's if I get lost and I fuck around in the space. Depends on what I got going on. Cause I might just go back to where the fuck I probably go back to where the fuck I'm from and just live like I really don't give a fuck about that shit. It is what it is. But don't let me be in a situation where I be in a situation to be just light enough to kind of still fuck with the Zimmery a little bit, but not get lost into it and kind of experience a little bit, but not get lost into it and can experience that shit through y'all. Y'all all gonna be doing what the fuck I wanted to do. I don't go fuck what you is, white, black, everybody getting a piece of this shit. Y'all all going getting influenced by my thought forms and shit and my wishes and feelings, especially females and shit. But that's another video. Cause I don't give a fuck if you believe it or not. You gon' see. And you whoever think that it ain't gonna be the main one doing what the fuck I got going on, period. Just know that. You ain't stopping shit when it comes to the spirit. Cause I'm watching all y'all niggas, period. But anyway, let me not even go that far. Cause I got my own agendas and shit going on that don't got nothing to do with y'all, period. So I don't really give a fuck about y'all either. Cause I just go back to where the fuck I'm from and live my shit and my existence and my broader, bigger world. Cause the star, my moon sign is this. How you know if you from here or not? Look at your moon sign. If it's fixed, if it's on a fixed star, that means you from somewhere else. If it's from here, if it don't got no fixed star and no degree, it don't land on any degree and no degree and no fixed star, you from here. Now sometimes they got certain ones that land on degrees of fixed star that really do be from here, but they be fucking up thinking it ain't the space we in, but it do because they act like they don't know what constellation we in. But really we in the Draco, Teller the Draco, which the subconscious community broke that down before. But if the scientists don't really fully know that, then it's like they'll get conflicted and shit. But some of them, like when you look at like Perseus ain't that fucking far. That shit like here. Now, if you say Orion, that may be a little bit different. You may be a little bit further out. But if you saying like Perseus and certain ones, I think there's certain other ones too that they really be in this space. They just misconjuncting that shit because they trying to be too technical. But anyway, let me not leave y'all again. Like I said, sexual energies. Our Pluto is very small, so it lets you know our sexuality since it rules sexuality. And that's the house, eighth house of sexuality. That lets you know our sexuality is very small and very primitive. Even worse than our Mercury. And we really don't think that great. We really don't be having our own mind. We really don't be formulating our own thoughts and ideas. All we do is follow. So if you're saying our sexual energy is smaller than that, the planet that rule that is smaller than that. What the fuck what the fuck that say about us? What the fuck that say about our sexual energy? Shit trash. So I know we like now that shows how powerful that energy is because sexual energy in any reality is always gonna be powerful because that's pure orgone spirit energy. That's pure creative spirit energy. That's like that in any reality. But y'all don't even got a real fucking planet, not even a small planet like Mercury. At least Mercury's a planet, and that ain't shit. That's barely in between. That's really like what asteroid is, but it is a planet though. It still made it to being a planet. You talking about Scorpio? Not even Pluto, not even really a full planet. So y'all know y'all sexual energy is primitive as fuck. That's why, like I said again, y'all don't know how to transmute y'all sexual energy. Y'all don't know about y'all sexual energies. Y'all don't be knowing about what the fuck y'all really want or are into. Y'all don't be taught about it. It's all everything is looked at as taboo. You got even shit like foot fetishes, right? I'm not saying right or wrong, but you got foot fetish, right? That's like the biggest fetish in the world, and people still look at that like that's the end of the world. Now I understand if you say, man, look, me personally, I ain't really into that shit, but whatever floats your boat. But I ain't really into that shit. I ain't gonna act like I am. Whoop, 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 whoop. That's one thing. But for y'all to look, everybody's weird. See how y'all do? That's how y'all do with sexual energy. Period. It ain't about specifically what I'm talking about. It's the energy y'all give off. Period. Cause y'all sexual energy is more primitive in this reality. Shit, primitive as hell. Y'all don't know shit when it comes to sexuality. Y'all all over the place. Y'all don't, like I said, y'all know how to control y'all shit. Y'all don't know how to transmute y'all sexual energy. Y'all don't know yourselves sexually. Y'all don't get taught how to say. They'll teach you all this other shit. They'll teach you a bunch of Saturn shit in school. How to be disciplined and everything. Spiritually, physically, Saturn chakra big as hell. Y'all learn real quick how to do that. When it comes to some shit like motherfucking, they don't even teach y'all Mercury. Y'all don't even teach y'all how to really think. They give y'all some brain puzzles and that helps to an extent, but they don't even force that on y'all. They don't even like all that shit buffet, all that shit cap as fuck. But the Scorpio shit, the Pluto shock center, small as hell in reality. So like I said, our sexual energy is very small and primitive. So even the experience period that you have, like when you be fucking and you busting nut, if you're a man and women, as good as that feel, you just a tiny piece of ant-sized crack into the whole of sexuality that you could be experiencing as a whole. Since Pluto is that small, that's just a small crack of energy y'all feel. So I don't care how good the orgasm feel. That's why y'all really don't be feel experiencing orgasm energy too. And it took a certain being from a space that created shit like Tantra, that expanded their shit so much, their sexual chakra so much, they became aware of other shit. You see what I'm saying? And they became other ways how you could access higher forms of orgasm. But that's why they got attention. They got different forms of orgasm, like valley orgasms, spiritual orgasms, cosmic orgasms, full body orgasms, draw orgasms. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, look how fucked up our sexual, especially for men. Look how fucked up it is. As a man 9 times 10, in today's time, you can't even bust a nut without having to recover. You got think about it. You gotta y'all can't never y'all small ass Pluto, y'all small ass sexual center. You know y'all shit primitive. You can't even bust a nut and experience orgasm for that long. One shit like 5, 10, 15 seconds. Let's be real. The shit like 5, 10 seconds. 1, 15 seconds. One. So you don't even get experience for long periods of time. I ain't lying. Two, when y'all do it, that little 10, 15 seconds makes you go through this whole refractory period. You gotta fucking wait and build up energy. You as a man can't even do that shit consistently without eventually need to take a break and stay back up. You see what I'm saying? Everything in it. You know what I'm saying? So everything in it just small and primitive. That's how you know y'all not in the. And let me hurry up because I got 10%. That's how you know y'all not entering reality with a big ass sexual chakra or a big ass whatever planet represent that space is big. It might be even a star. Certain remember realities resonate so much with the sexual energy more so that fuck a planet. They star is sexual is a like our star that we now is the sun is that's the sun is birthed from like the fifth house. That's that rule the fifth house. So a lot of our shit come out of there like entertainment and shit. Like that's one of the really big one like entertainment, producing as a whole, being creative, having a creative endeavors, creative output. So that like kind of ruled the space in a sense. Like creativity, creating shit, all that shit. That's the energy of that light. That's that life force energy. Having vitality, having life with energy, getting up and wanting to do something. That's why the sun got up in the morning and you say you got morning wood because you want to get the fuck up and get your day started. That energy, that vitality, everything that deal with that, that's born out of the fifth house. That's that Leo space. That ruled the space, right? But now imagine a bunch of star systems that resonate more so with the eighth house energy. That's gonna be their star. So their sexual energy gonna be so advanced from ours. That's like damn near their way of life. Y'all so far from this shit, y'all don't understand what how lost y'all be. Y'all think that shit ass, but all y'all know 9C really, so it don't really matter. But I'm just showing you. I'm just trying to find. I don't give a fuck. I'm just trying to show you how low you is. Um, uh, if you got other spaces out there that, like I said, they six chakra ain't small like our little Pluto shit that's not even a fucking planet yet. They shit might actually be a planet, so they would actually be able to experience more. Like I said, the energy itself, the orgasmic energy itself that the basic person experiences when you orgasm, you only experience that for a split second. So you never truly experiencing the true window of orgasm. It's worlds out here where you can actually experience orgasm for a lengthy period of time and actually be basking in it. It's worlds out here that's further than that, that just being, that you just living, you naturally basking in the orgasm. And what they look at orgasm is, what we look at orgasm to them is normal, and what they actually look at orgasm is something much more broader than that, that y'all minds can't even, that we being in this dimension can't even perceive. So shit go deep. Y'all don't understand pleasure. Y'all have never seen that amount of pleasure. There's worlds out here, if you was aware, you would actually cry how much pleasure is out here. But y'all look out like every day and be miserable and thinking that you need to live in this shit. I'm talking about like spiritual healing. Fuck getting healed down here. You got just being in certain worlds. Shit is rejuvenating and refreshing to the spirit. Like being in some good ass fucking, bathing in some good ass crystal spring water. Spiritually though. Spiritual crystal spring. You see what I'm saying? Rejuvenate your whole spirit. Like how you'll jump in the crystal spring down here that feel real good and cool yourself off and rejuvenate your body and get all those minerals and shit and you be relaxed in the physical body. Now imagine that spiritually. Literally. That's how it be and shit like that. But that's just how I'm gonna get up out of there for my phone down. But that's how that play out. Y'all need to understand that. Hold on one second. That's how that play out. Just our sexual energy, Scorpio, Pluto. That's the planet that rules our sexuality. It's small, so you know our sexuality awareness here is small. This is why anytime you fucking, you never experiencing the full brink of a orgasm. You see what I'm saying? You only experience it for a smaller period of time, 10, 15 seconds. I mean, come on, man. That's letting you know right there. And then two, is so much limitations to it. You got refractory periods. You can only do it so much. You can't do that shit. Now, I ain't saying nobody should overindulge in anything, but y'all, it's not to a point where y'all can really experience it without it bringing y'all down in such a form, or you being physically limited to it. You know what I'm saying? And the females are like that too. Like they have it better because they're more equipped spiritually in so many different ways. They shit can handle it a lot more. But even them, like it gets to a point they shit can dry out. If they overly do it, they could dry out too if they're not healthy as a woman and shit like that. And it take longer to get to that point and shit like that. If a man don't know what he doing, it's a lot to it. You know what I mean? It's a lot to it. But so our sexuality out here as a whole is warped. But if anybody got it better, it is females. But our sexuality as a whole out here, like I said, is warped. So imagine another, like I said, another realm reality where if our shit not even a planet really, imagine another realm reality where their sexual chakra is actually a planet, or let alone just a planet. Say it's a big ass planet. So that's like a big ass consciously awareness and they shit. They got all kind of shit. They got all kind of sexual. I can break that down real quick. Let me see how much more I got. I got 5%, so I could probably break you down what that would be like. A world with a big ass sexual chakra, aka like how Pluto is our sexual chakra and it's real small, so we don't know a lot about our sexuality. We're really small awareness. A big ass planet sexual chakra would be a world that's like a lot about it. Like that's like the majority of their living existence is like saying we how Saturn is the biggest one of the biggest ones here and it's close. That would be like sexuality itself will be something that most of the world will be into. But do you know how much expansion that would be? Do you know how like they probably got different body parts that can handle more of the orgasm energy? Because it's really just orgasmic energy and that union energy takes so much without having to reset keyword refractories and time off and shit like that. But in those worlds, there's worlds where you got dicks and pussies. There's worlds where you got organs that's beyond just that. There's organs that's sexual organs beyond that. You got organs where people got not only one, two, three sexual organs. You got worlds out here where motherfuckers in situations where there ain't really no refractory period. But you only look at it like, oh, that sounds like who want to experience, but it's not like that. They got other ways of doing shit, and they organ can handle that. It's more normal, but they in a better state of being. They're more in a more orgasmic state of being, so it don't drain on them like that. Those are the advanced bodies. You see what I'm saying? Um, and it's not even looked at like that. And they can turn these things on, turn these things off. When they want to emit fluids, they can, but just they have bodies where you you can choose to orgasm and emit the fluid to like what you call ejaculate or create, or you could hold it in and it don't have to be no strenuous process like here, like oh you gotta clench and kegel this. No, like naturally that's one of the organ ability you got is you can naturally turn the tap on or turn the tap off. You can orgasm without emitting it, or you can orgasm with emitting it if you want to create. If you don't, you can just have a full orgasm just like it, but without emitting the fluid. Like it's and that's lower shit to what's actually going on. That shit so broad up there. That shit crazy. Yeah, like Y'all don't even aware of what's going on. That shit so broad up there, it's like crazy. Y'all would never want to. I'm just say a lot of y'all, if y'all knew about what's going on, y'all would never want to come back down here. A lot of you bitches who be going through it, that like y'all low key be spiritual, y'all be like superstitious, and y'all hate y'all lives, and y'all be, if y'all knew this shit going on, y'all would off y'all shit immediately. I'm just real. Y'all will give a fuck. I ain't getting paid for this channel. Y'all will off yourself immediately. Y'all run to the storage. Unless y'all had something like a baby, or unless you had something like a child, unless you had a certain family members, that's losses too. But unless you had them and you felt like you had to do some type of, you was attached to them and you didn't want to let them go for that. But if it wasn't for that, y'all off y'all shit. What the fuck? If y'all really knew what was out here, y'all just don't know what's out here. So y'all look at it like that. Or y'all like really not that bad and you just a bunch of complainers. But anyway, that's how that go. I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I need to know that. See what I'm saying? So imagine a sexual Cinderella Laurel with a big ass star is their eighth house, a big ass star. Not no little Pluto like us that's not even a planet yet, let alone not even a small planet. It's not a planet at all. Imagine this planet with their sexual energy of a whole ass star. And then you got different stars in that. You got planet sizes different that. You got small planets, you got big planets. Our shit not even planet at all. But you got small planets, you got medium, you got big planets. Then you got stars. Like our sun is a star, a small star. You got small stars, it was by that point it would still wipe out all the information we know about sex. It would be immaculate. It would be so much shit they could do. But then imagine it's like actually a decent sized star, and then or let alone a big one. You know what I'm saying? And it should just keep going up because the more you get, the bigger you get, the more your body can experience more shit, more energies. See what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Yeah, a lot of y'all better off gone. Period. A lot of y'all better off gone. Y'all either in some type of religious indoctrination or y'all being taught that that's not the right thing to do. But y'all just dumbasses. Y'all just gonna reincarnate and wish you did it sooner anyway. But peace.